Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was revealed in great detail at 2018's E3, and it looks to be fan-fucking-tastic. But since it only has 2 new characters instead of 17 like Smash 4 had, many people are calling it a ripoff since Nintendo's strategy seems to be get it out now and charge for DLC later, rather than going the extra mile and releasing a sequel that's jam-packed. But if you ask my cute little ass, then he'll tell you that Smash Bros. Ultimate's not a scam in any way, and I'm inclined to agree with him. My cute little ass's name is Richard, and he'll tell you why Smash Bros. Ultimate's not a ripoff. When Smash Bros. Ultimate comes out on December 7th, it'll have been less than 3 years since the most recent DLC came out for the Wii U version. And even though Melee came out less than 2 years after the original Smash Bros., 3 years isn't exactly a whole lot of time when it comes to making a brand new game in Nintendo's immensely popular fighting franchise, due to the fact that there's so much work that needs to be done at this point compared to how much there was from 1999 to 2001. There's a shitload of things to consider when making any changes at all, let alone revamping the entire game. And to be honest, I'm impressed with how much we're actually getting in Smash Bros. Ultimate, even though there's technically only 2 new characters tossed in the mix. Based on everything I've seen, it really feels like Sakurai-chan's been working his ass off on Smash Bros. Ultimate during the gap between the last game and now. And despite there only being 2 new characters, resurrecting all the past characters requires a lot more work than just copy and pasting from Melee and Brawl. What with the visual updates, Echo Fighters, moveset changes, and what have you, all while trying to keep every character as balanced as possible. Plus, there's plenty of other things that are getting updates like stages, trophies, assists, and probably like 47,000 different things that nobody's noticed yet, with Sakurai being as neurotic and deeply involved in these games as he is. I mean, just look at the poor supple young boy. He looks like he hasn't slept or even wiped his ass in years. But since the development gaps between Melee and Brawl and Wii U have been much longer than this one, it does remain a fact that had Nintendo went all out on Smash Ultimate by taking more time before releasing it, then it would have been an even bigger improvement from its predecessor. So if you really want to be a dick about it, then yes, Nintendo did not try their absolute best with Smash Bros. Ultimate. And given the fact that we're probably going to get new characters and stages via DLC at some point, then saying Nintendo's philosophy is to just get Smash out there for now and add DLC later isn't entirely untrue. However, I don't think that makes this game a ripoff or scam in any way, because even without any DLC, Smash Bros. Ultimate as we know it now is exactly what the next game in the series needed to be. I mean, nobody calls other games incomplete just because it doesn't fill up the disc. We really didn't need to wait 4 more years to get like 20 new characters. More than anything, people just want to play Smash Bros. On the Switch as soon as possible, and I don't think most people have any problem getting to play it now with optional DLC coming later on, rather than waiting way longer for the game to just be a little bit better with more content when there's already more than enough to begin with. It's true that it'd save the consumer money to wait for a game that'd come with the eventual DLC included on the cartridge, but then Smash Bros. Fans would grow even more impatient than they already are. Plus, Nintendo would end up making less money that way. And since the oversized N is a business, it makes perfect sense for them to just get the game out sooner than later. I'm the type of person who's all for physical media having all the content on the disc or cartridge, but there's a fine line between utilizing the internet to enhance games and abusing it to save a few pennies. And for a competitive series like Smash Bros. That's pretty much expected to be played online anyway, provided that the online service's butt doesn't end up sucking dick, then I don't think having DLC is in any way abusive since the base game's not phoned in. Some people think Smash Ultimate is phoned in for only having 2 new characters, but those jabronis are ignoring the fact that all the old characters are brought back. And even if in 30 years we're in a post-apocalyptic world, and the copy of Smash Bros. Ultimate you find in a barren wasteland doesn't come with the DLC on the cartridge, it's not going to completely kill the game since you won't be able to use online features and play with others anyway. And even if you want to compete in tournaments after the Rapture, competitive Smash is typically best for local multiplayer anyway. And even if the people on the post-apocalyptic tournament somehow have the DLC, Smash Bros. Ultimate's base game's still going to be deep enough to where it won't feel gimped or incomplete even without the DLC. Also, in the modern day, a $60 price tag for a game such as thus is enough of a steal to where calling the DLC later business model a ripoff's absurd, especially if you consider the fact that there were Super Nintendo games that cost $70 in 1993, which would be about $121 in 2018, that had a fraction of the effort put into those as Smash Bros. Ultimate did. So I don't think it's fair to spread rumors that Nintendo has small dicks just for giving us an awesome game right away, and then giving us the option later on to make that awesome game even better, as opposed to making everybody wait even longer to save them a little bit of money that some people may or may not have spent on DLC, which again will be optional if it comes out. And besides, there's never ever going to be a definitively complete Smash game with zero room for improvement. There's always going to be more that can be done to make any Smash Bros. Game even an ass hair better, so there really is no point in prolonging Smash 5's release any longer, since there's always going to be fans that are disappointed that certain characters were left out. Spending a lot of time to make the game 3 times as big isn't going to lead to 3 times as many sales, because if you're not sold on over 60 in-depth characters with various updates, then I don't think 80's going to change your mind. To the core fans, the series has never been about how many characters could be crammed into the game, and it's not a video game Game Hall of Fame. The Smash team decided to fix the problems from Smash 4 that people complained about the most by adding things like short hops, directional air dashes, shorter final smashes, and things of that nature. Anybody that complained that Smash 4 didn't have enough characters are never going to be satisfied anyway. If what's being offered in Smash Ultimate's not enough to convince you to buy it, then the Smash Bros. Series probably just isn't for you in the first place. Which is fine if that's the case, because Smash Bros. Definitely isn't for everybody. Just look at this wicked fine lady right here, for instance. She's more into real-time strategy games like Senran Kagura Shinobi Riffle and wants nothing to do with Smash Bros. Or any other fighting game for that matter. But as for everybody else who probably would have even been happy with a Smash 4 port, I think Ultimate's going above and beyond, especially when compared to something like Madden 69 that's pretty much the same thing as every game before it. And even if you don't want the DLC down the line, or even if they end up never releasing it and finally let Sakurai take a fucking nap, Smash Bros. Ultimate's still in no way an incomplete game. Charging people for DLC that's already on the disc, or having day 1 patches that are mandatory for the game to be playable is bullshit. But there's nothing wrong with giving people the option to enhance games later on if the base game has enough merit to hold up with its initial release. And adding anything else to a game as big as Smash Bros. Ultimate would be the exact definition of the word bonus. But if you're still a big enough dick to say meh to a game that had as much hard work put into it as Smash Bros. Ultimate, then just remember that Sakurai even apologized for not adding more new characters besides the Inklings and Ridley, who is in fact not too big. What do you think, though? Should Nintendo have spent years and years giving us a crazy Smash game with an assload of new characters? Or do you think the series already had enough and that the improvements that were made here are more important than just cramming characters just for the sake of doing it? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, I'll pin whatever I find most entertaining or intriguing. Don't forget to share this video if you want to help this channel grow. Consider supporting us on Patreon for as low as $1 a month. And if you want to be the sexiest beast in the history of everything, then go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. My ass's name is Dick, and he'll see you next time.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty, thank you for your support.